today's topic for discussion is the settlement of disputes. Settlement of disputes regarding international trade. This is the topic for today to discuss here. First question is ki what is the purpose of the WTO? Main object of the WTO is to maintain the free flow of the trade among the members of the WTO. Now the question arises ki when disputes arises, generally when any member country violates any provision of the WTO agreement during international trade and another country thinks it is unreasonable, then disputes arise between both the countries. Then role of the WTO arises ki how to settle the dispute if there is a dispute between two countries related to the international trade. There is a body that is the dispute settlement undertaking under the WTO. What is the object of this dispute settlement body? Main object is to provide a speedy and easy process for the settlement of disputes between the countries of the WTO. Under the dispute settlement undertaking, dispute settlement body, that is the DSB has been established and it is responsible for the settlements of the disputes between the countries. Next is what are the stages for the settlement of the trade disputes between the countries. When any dispute arises among the countries, so in which stages, what are the stages through which the dispute can be settled? There are 7 stages which are mentioned in the DSU dispute settlement undertaking, which has been established under the WTO. So there are 7 stages to settle the dispute. First is consultation process, which is mentioned under the Article 4 of the DSU, that is the dispute settlement undertaking. Second stage is establishment of the panels, which is mentioned under Article 6, 8 and 11 of the DSU. Third stage is selection of the panelist. Process is mentioned under the Article 8 of the DSU, dispute settlement undertaking. Next, that is the fourth stage, procedure of the panel. What the procedure will be adopted by the panel for the settlement of the dispute, that is fourth stage, and it is mentioned under Article 10 and 12 of the DSU. Next stage is stage number 5, that is the interim report, which is mentioned under Article 15 of the DSU, that is the dispute settlement undertaking. Next stage, that is the stage number 6, which is related to the appeal. If the parties are not satisfied with the decision of the panel, then they can file the appeal, that is known as 6th stage, and provisions of appeal has been mentioned under Article 16 of the DSU. Next and last stage is the 7th stage, that is the acceptance of the report by the dispute settlement body, that is mentioned under Article 30 of the DSU. Now I would like to explain all the stages in detail. What is the stage number 1? What is the procedure for to adopt the stage number 1, that is the consultation process. Article 4 of the DSU provides that under DSU it is required that before taking any actions or referring dispute to the mediation, both the parties shall resolve the dispute through the consultation, discussion, talk or the meetings. This is required under the WTO mechanism, that if any dispute arises between the parties, then they will take first remedy, that is the process of consultation. They will not automatically enter into any litigation. They will just try to settle the matter by the consultation, by the discussions, by the talks, by the meetings. with each other. This is the first process, first stage to settle the dispute by the mutual understanding by the countries among which the dispute has been arises. Now the second stage is whenever a WTO member country makes a request for the consultation to another member country, the request must be accepted within 10 days and both countries will enter into consultation process within 30 days. There is time limit. Whenever any request has been made by the any country which is the party of the trade, then this is the responsibility of the another country to accept the request of that country, and they will within 10 days they will he will accept the request of the party, and then they will enter into the dispute settlement mechanism, and they will try to conclude the dispute within 30 days. So here time limit is mentioned to conclude the dispute in the at the first stage. Consultation process has to be concluded within 60 days from the date of the request. Ultimately time limit is 60 days. Within 60 days parties will try to conclude the dispute. If the consultation process does not provide a satisfactory solution to the problem within 60 days from the date of the request, then the complaining party may request for the formation of the panel. If first stage do not provide a satisfactory solution to the party, then party can enter into the second stage. So here time limit is 60 days. After 60 days, if the solution is not available to the party, then they can appeal to the they can request for the formation of the panel. Request for the consultation, formation of the panel, reason for the dispute settlement body must be notified in writing. All the process for the settlement of this dispute must be in writing. Now we come on the second stage. If the dispute is not settled, is not solved by the at the first stage by the consultation, then the party can enter into the second stage, can take the recourse of the second stage. What is the second stage? What is the process for the second stage? Second stage is the establishment of the panels. Panels, the procedure is given under Article 6, 8 and 11 of the dispute settlement undertaking. Here it is provided that if no satisfactory solution is reached through consultation between the member countries, the complaining member may request in writing to the dispute settlement body for the formation of the panel. A summary of the case and issues involved in the case will also be conveyed in writing to dispute settlement body. So what the issues are involved in the matter, what are the facts of the case, everything has to be conveyed properly to the dispute settlement body for the formation of the panels. What are the functions? What are the functions of the panel? The main object, main function of the panel is to aid the dispute settlement body in resolving the matter. So members of the panel will provide help to the dispute settlement body for the settlement of the dispute. The panel will assess and examine the entire dispute among the parties, including the facts and issues involved in the case in detail. After examining the entire dispute fact of the cases, the panel shall provide its report to the parties within 6 months. Here time limit also given for the panel. Within 6 months, panel has to be examined all the issues involved in the matter, facts of the case, and then final opinion, final report has to be conveyed to the dispute settlement body within 6 months from the date of the proceeding of the panel. So here time limit for the proceeding for the panel is also fixed and mentioned. Panel has to conclude is proceeding within 6 months. Next stage, that is the stage number 3rd, which provides about the selection of the panelist, how the panelist will be selected. This is mentioned under Article 8 of the DSU. Procedure for the selection of the panelist, which is given under Article 8, provides that after the formation of the panel, panelist has to be selected. First requirement is ki formation of the panel will be formed. Then after, when the order for the formation of the panel has been conveyed, then the members of the panel has to be appointed, has to be selected. So next stage is ki panelist has to be selected by the WTO Secretariat, who will select the members of the panel. Members of the panel has to be selected by the WTO Secretariat. The parties cannot oppose the selection unless they state any reason which is satisfactory to the Secretariat. Here the members, how many members will be selected for the panel? Minimum 3 members should be in the panel. Maximum strength of the members of the panel may be 5. Within 10 days, if any objection has been raised by the concerned party, then within 10 days from the formation of the panel, parties can agree to have 5 panelists if they consider it necessary. So minimum number will be 3 and maximum number of the panelists will be 5 if party has any objection. To assist the parties, WTO Secretariat prepare a list of the governmental as well as non-governmental individuals who possess certain qualification for the selection as panelists. The list ultimately will be prepared by the WTO Secretariat. Concerned party may choose the member from that list. In that list, governmental and non-governmental members may be included for the selection of the as the members of the panel. Panelists may be chosen from the list by the parties. Ultimately, members of the panel can be has to be chosen by the members from the list. Members may at any reasonable time make an addition to the list of the individuals by suggesting the name of the individuals who can assist the parties by providing any information related to the international trade law or any of the matter as covered in the agreement because of which dispute arose in the first place. The addition to the list can be made only after the approval of the dispute settlement body. Additional list can be added by the dispute settlement with the approval of the dispute settlement body. If the panelists are not selected within 20 days after the date of the establishment of the panel, the Director General, in consultation with the chairman of the dispute settlement body and chairman of the relevant council, may appoint the panelist. So here, if the concerned party are not able to choose the member of the panel within 20 days, then Director General has right to appoint the member of the panel with the consultation of the chairman of dispute settlement body and other relevant council of the dispute settlement mechanism. The chairman of the dispute settlement body then inform the members about the composition of the panel within 10 days. Whenever members of the panel has been selected by the Director General, then about the composition of the panels, information has to be given by the Director General within 10 days to the concerned parties. Next stage is stage number 4, where procedure of the panel is given under Article 10 and 12 of the dispute settlement undertaking. After composition, within 1 week, panel shall fix a timetable for the proceeding of the panel. A detailed timetable has to be prepared by the panel for the proceedings of the panel. After this, the panel will decide a deadline for the written submission to be made by the each party. Each party has to submit its submission to the WTO Secretariat. Ultimately, parties has given an opportunity to submit their objections to the WTO Secretariat. Each submission shall be transferred to the panel, and submission made by one party shall be sent to other party by the WTO Secretariat. Whenever objections has been received by the WTO Secretariat, it is the responsibility of the Secretariat to convey the objection to another party, whatever the objections has been raised by the whatever written submission has been given by the another party. At the first substantive meeting of the panel, the complaining party shall be the first to present their case ahead of the responding party. The next is the third parties having substantial interest in the subject matter of the dispute are also asked to present their views during the same meeting. Responding party shall be the first to respond against the complaining party. So here the opportunity has to can be given to the third party if any substantial interest is involved of that third party. Otherwise, third party is not entitled to interfere in the dispute between two parties. But in situations where any substantial interest of any third party is involved in the matter, in the dispute, then the opportunity to that third party can also be given by the panelist to hear their arguments. Responding party shall be the first to respond against the complaining party. The parties have to submit their written rebuttals to the panel. Whatever the objections has been raised by the concerned party, that objections has to be submitted in written to the panels. Any rebuttals between the parties shall be made at the subsequent meeting of the panel. The panel may put any question before the parties to be answered in the duration of that meeting. After the examination of the case, the panel shall submit a written report to the dispute settlement body. Whenever all the issues are available with the panels, all the facts of the case, all the objections raised by different parties, then after collecting all type of information related to the dispute, panel will decide the case and will submit its report to the dispute settlement body. Panel cannot take any decision itself. Panel has to submit its report to the dispute settlement body. Ultimately, decision has to be taken by the dispute settlement body on the basis of the report of the panel given by the expert. If the satisfactory solution has been made, a brief description of the case along with the solution will be sent to dispute settlement body. If the case has been decided and parties are satisfied with the report of the panel, then brief about the solution will be given to the dispute settlement body. Where satisfactory solution has not been found, the panel shall send a written report to the dispute settlement body mentioning finding of the case and recommendations of the panel and what are the reasons for the recommendations. The report has to be sent within 6 months of its examination. So, for the sending of the report, time limit is given here, that is the 6 months. Within 6 months, panel will give his report to the dispute settlement body. In case of urgency, including the case of perishable goods, reports has to be sent within 3 months. In that situations, it is required reports should be given earlier as well as it is possible to give. The maximum period during which the report has to send is 9 months from the formation of the panel. Next stage is stage number 5, that is related to the interim report of the panel. before sending the final report. If situations required, then panel can give a interim report about the decision of the panel. After oral arguments and rebuttal, the panel shall issue a draft report to the parties. That draft report is considered as the interim report of the panel. After receiving the draft report, the parties have to submit their comments in the writing within the period set by the panel. So for the submission of the objections, time limit can be given by the panel, and within that time limit parties has to submit their arguments before the panel for the preparing final report of the panel. After expiring the period fixed for the comments, the panel shall issue an interim report with the finding of the panel. Within the time given by the panel, both the parties may submit written request to revise the interim report of the panel. Here opportunity has been given to the parties. Parties can request to the panel to revise the report, to revise the draft of the panel. At the request made by the parties, the panel shall call for a further meeting to discuss the comments made by the parties to the dispute. If both the parties are satisfied with the solution reached, then such a revised interim report shall be the final report of the panel, and it will be circulated to the members. So after taking into consideration the objections raised by the different parties at the stage number 5th, panel can revise the interim report, interim draft which was prepared by the panel. If the parties are not satisfied with the outcome of the report, then the objection of the members shall be considered at the meeting of the dispute settlement body. Whatever the objections has been raised by the different parties before the panel, if the parties are not satisfied with the report of the panel, then they can again raise the objection before the dispute settlement body. All objections has to be reported before 10 days of the meeting of the dispute settlement body. The final report shall be adopted by the dispute settlement body within the 16 days from the date panel report is circulated to the members. So here a time limit is also mentioned. If any party to dispute is not satisfied with the report and notified its decision of appeal to the dispute settlement body, the report shall not be adopted by the DSP. Dispute settlement body may decide unanimously not to adopt such report. In case of an appeal, the report shall deemed to be invalid for the adoption by the dispute settlement body till the final decision of the appellate authority. Stage number 6 talks about the standing appellate body. If the parties are not satisfied with the decision, with the report of the dispute settlement body, then they are authorized to proceed for the appeal before the standing appellate body. Standing appellate body has to be established by the dispute settlement body. A party of the dispute which is not satisfied with the final report of the panel can appeal to the standing appellate body. Third party of the dispute are not allowed to file appeal. Only parties to the dispute can file the appeal. Third parties can be allowed to be heard only in the case where the substantial interest of the such party is involved in the matter. So if any substantial interest of the third party is involved, then they can be given an opportunity to be heard before the standing appellate authority. Otherwise, third party has not given any substantial right to file the appeal before the appellate authority. In case the proceeding of the appellate body shall be not exceed 16 days, it means ki appellate authority shall conclude the proceeding within 60 days. In case of delay, the maximum period of 90 days may be granted to the appellate body by the dispute settlement body. The appellate body has to submit the reason of delay in writing to the dispute settlement body. Ultimately, appellate body will convey its decision to the dispute settlement body. The appellate body shall not re-examine any piece of evidence. Here, some restrictions are imposed upon the appellate body. Appellate body cannot re-examine the evidence, cannot re-examine the issues, cannot re-examine the previous arguments, but its examination shall be limited only to the laws covered in the panel report or legal interpretation involved by the panelist. The appellate body has the power to uphold, modify or reverse the panel report and provide a conclusive report. Next stage is stage number 7th, that is the acceptance of the report by the dispute settlement body. Ultimately, whenever the final case has been finally concluded, the report has to be accepted by the dispute settlement body. This dispute settlement body has to either accept the appellate body report or reject it within a maximum period of 30 days after receiving such a report. If the parties are not satisfied with the report of the appellate body or report of the panelist, then the dispute settlement body can reject the report. Otherwise, if the parties are satisfied with the report of the panel or the decision of the appellate authority, then the dispute settlement body will accept the report and give the final judgment. The report can only be rejected anonymously by the dispute settlement body. Here the time framework for the dispute settlement is also given. That is the first stage time period is 60 days. For the second stage, that is the establishment of panel and the selection of the panelist, time period is 45 days. And that is the third stage, panel report to the parties, time limit is 6 months. Final panel report to the WTO members, that is the 3 weeks. Total time without appeal 1 year near about. If an appeal is made, appellate body report has to be given within 60 to 19 days. Dispute settlement body has to adopt the report within 30 days. Total time limit with the appeal is 1 year and 3 months. So within limited time framework, the dispute has to be concluded by the dispute settlement body under the WTO mechanism. So now I think it is sufficient for today.